Faputa versus I thought of the moth thing from Berserk. I forgot her name. Rosine. That's it. This is my first video where I'll be comparing two similar characters and seeing who will win in a fight in an original concept. Now, it is very clear that Berserk completely copied Made in Abyss with Rosine. They are clearly extremely similar characters, and because of all the different factors at play, I will divide the fight into three parts. Normal Faputa versus normal Rosine. Normal Faputa with their subordinates versus normal Rosine with their subordinates. And value of Faputa after eating the villagers versus the what do they call it? Released form of Rosine. These are very important distinctions. Now, it is time to begin everyone's favorite form of analysis. Power scaling. I will do one of those cool things where they give points for different categories because that's how fights work. You just have more points. Now, to begin our first fight. Faputa versus Rosine. Beginning with strength. Looking at the more recognizably human form of Rosine. Their main method of attack seems to be a horn and antenna thing, proboscis, which they can whip around to cut stuff. And it seems to be quite fast, although its strength is questionable, and it has only been seen to inflict small cuts on people. But their most important weapon is the dust released from its wings. It's venomous and able to disorient those who come into contact with it. And if it makes its way into your body, it will cause paralysis and nausea. This will be the biggest obstacle for Faputa. As for Faputa's strength, well, she can hold down Reg, who is able to lift the rock, and her claws can pierce his belly button. And the normal knife could not, which means her claws are extremely powerful for sure. She could break the interference units with a single swing. They seem very durable. She can tear off her own limbs with relative ease. Not sure what that amounts to. She can tear apart villagers. She can tear apart abyssal creatures. Lots of tearing. So, in terms of physical strength, Faputa seems to stand victorious. But what about the venom, you may ask? Well, she does just shrug off the poisonous scales from the turbinid dragon. And this would not be the first time a so-called immortal being has neutralized poison. Faputa wins, cry about it. Now, time to move on to the next category, endurance. Rosine does not appear to have much durability, as they are wounded quite easily. Not much you can expect from a bug. They also seem to be quite reactive to pain, with them yelling out and losing control of their form when injured. They do seem to have regenerative abilities, however they appear to be slow-acting, and have only been shown to affect smaller injuries, such as damage to the wings and antenna. They do seem to be extremely resilient, however, able to continue fighting whilst even on the brink of death. Faputa, well, while their durability doesn't seem to be anything praiseworthy, as they are frequently and easily injured, their resilience is rather astonishing, continuing to fight whilst their body is literally falling apart. She also seems to have quite remarkable pain tolerance, her only reaction to pain simply seeming to be anger, along with casually amputating herself. Let us look at the point where each of them can no longer fight in their current form. Now, you may point out my fallacious reasoning, and accuse me of being biased. Anyways, Faputa wins in this category as well. That's 2 out of 3 categories won. Therefore, Faputa wins. That's how it works. Now, before you get mad, Rosine themselves knew that they were weak garbage version baby loser. That's why they have their minions fight for them. And when they did have to fight by themselves, they almost instantly transformed into their less loser form. Now, how will they fare with support from their underlings? I will now be dishing the different categories, as I do not care. Rosine relies mainly on their minions to fight for them. They are shown to be able to command an army of insect people, referred to as the Forest Guardians, who are shown to be quite fearsome, able to slightly wound guts, and tiny insect babies that consider themselves to be elves that can completely tear apart an entire person in seconds. Quite a formidable opponent. Faputa, in this scenario, will have access to her siblings, capable of sprouting countless tendrils and being able to break things down into value as compensation for damage. They also allow Faputa to regenerate, as Faputa can take in their value to repair herself. She's also able to command Joroimo, a manifestation of the village's will. That's the funny berserk. Basically, it's really big and has a sword that can melt stuff. Now, we're lucky. We don't have to speculate what Faputa fighting a group of ferocious creatures would look like. We have a perfect comparison right here. Well, fine. I suppose the win in this instance will have to go to the insect things. But now, for the final round, we will have to see who is truly stronger. Faputa, in this case, is essentially the same as she normally is. However, she can harness the value from the villagers that she has consumed to regenerate, as well as using her own blood to break apart her attackers, thus balancing the value. This is much more convenient, as her regeneration no longer relies on an outside force, so the regeneration cannot be stopped by simply crushing the siblings anymore. Now, let us look at the changes to Rosine. Well, allow me to bring back the categories. Strength, Faputa is basically the same. Meanwhile, this thing is flinging guts around with the mere wind it creates, and destroying entire forests with its proboscis. Certainly a step up. Is it stronger than Faputa, though? Maybe. I'm not sure. But I need to please the Berserk fans, and I'm pretty sure Berserk is all about mindless fighting with no depth. So, fine. Rosine is stronger. Rosine wins. Endurance! Faputa can almost instantly regenerate any wound. This thing died in 3 hits. Faputa wins. Final category. Speed. Okay, the giant moth thing moves faster than the speed of sound. Great. Well, Faputa can, well, the thing is, well, when Red grabbed Faputa here, we see this little effect, obviously a sonic boom, and Faputa beat Red, so therefore Faputa is faster than sound. Yes, even though she only beats him after his shonen power up ended, then he was too busy crying. Well, in this panel, Reg says that he can't see her. She is not just jumping or anything. She is clearly moving so fast that Reg can't see her. Therefore, Faputa is faster than light. There's nothing you can say. That is clearly the truth, and my logic is flawless. Faputa wins. She's the better character. Watch my videos.